Good afternoon, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today is August 12th, 2021, and I have more information for you guys together with what I've shared over my last two messages. As I shared yesterday in the afternoon, I was looking at a 7-day warning not only from the birthday of Barack Obama, but from his actual birthday party, taking us to August 13th and August 14th. And then we talked about the Friday the 13th as a connection to the arrival of the Antichrist and the casting out of Satan on Friday the 13th. Well, this led us to this great adventure that brought us to this video here, that this is the sign we have been waiting for, and the supernova that is in Ophiuchus right now. Okay, now I did this video last night and I said that I had it done in my computer and I wanted to share it from my computer, but I wasn't able to because we lost power. Well, we've resumed power here in our home, and I have that video done and edited. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this piece of information, and I'm going to go ahead and attach what I did in my computer and the message about the sign of the supernova in the 13th constellation of Ophiuchus, and I will attach that at the end of this. So together with this video and together with this new information that I'm going to be sharing today about August 13th, I'm going to attach that video that was done in my computer. Okay, so we are here right now watching the sign of the supernova that was found on August 7th, August 8th in the sign of Ophiuchus, a star that went from magnitude 12 to magnitude 4.8 and is visible to the naked eye, and it just appeared out of nowhere, a star that was not there a week ago. Okay, now I have a comment here under my video that I did last night, and T.I. Duncan shares this very interesting comment I wanted to share with you guys. Okay, Ophiuchus is the 13th shepherd, the one restraining the serpent from stealing the crown. In Egyptian mythology, it represented Imhotep. It was the 13th sign that sits above the wheel because Ophiuchus has the power of resurrection. The 12 signs below teach the story of salvation, whereas Ophiuchus is the way out of the system to return through the gate of the gods located on the narrow path between Sagittarius and Scorpius, and Ophiuchus is above the path to heaven restraining the serpent. Just like we are seeing this cancel culture now, it began way back then with canceling the sign representing victory over mortality and resurrection of the dead to eternal life. Ophiuchus is the resurrected Jesus who has victory over the serpent. The supernova in Ophiuchus is signaling the restrainer is about to be removed and the serpent cast down. It is the end of the cycle, the rapture sign. Okay. All right. So that I wanted to share that with you guys just to give you some perspective from a comment that was shared. Okay. Now, I want to take you to the Trump declaration of national emergency over coronavirus, which happened March 13th, 2020. Now, there's an interesting detail that we're watching in August 13th. It is Friday the 13th. Okay. Well, Trump declared a national emergency over coronavirus also on Friday the 13th. Okay. So I want to let everybody know this very key detail. There's a reason why they pick these days. Okay, so we have a connection between the beginning of the national emergency over coronavirus in the United States, which was Friday the 13th, and August 13th is Friday the 13th. Okay, now this next piece of information should hit us square between the eyes. Okay, this should hit us square between the eyes, and it's very clear and obvious. It's the Abraham Accords. Okay. What does the Bible say? When they say peace and safety, The Abraham Accords are a joint statement between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and the United States, reached on August 13th, 2020. Subsequently, the term was used to refer collectively to agreements between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, the Israel-United Arab Emirates Normalization Agreement, Bahrain, respectively the Bahrain-Israel Normalization Agreement, and then other countries went on to join this. But this Accords, the Abraham Accords, exactly 1 year ago, August 13th. Wow, that is a key piece of information right there, okay? Now, together with that, this piece of information also, okay? After the Revelation 12 sign, we were watching, looking for the sign of the dragon. It says in Revelation 12, it says, there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet. Upon her head a crown of 12 stars. She being with child, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. Okay. Then it goes on. There appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. His tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Okay. So we're waiting for that second sign, the sign of the dragon. Okay. And so one of the things that we were looking at is there was a sign on Hanukkah in the heavens, and it ended up coinciding exactly on December 17th, which was midweek Hanukkah, just as the Ophiuchus sign of December 14th, 2020, December 4th, 2021. The 2 eclipses that are taking place are both in Ophiuchus. Well, this sign on December 17th was also in Ophiuchus. It was also midweek Hanukkah. It's also within the time frame of the sun being in Ophiuchus. As we read yesterday, from November 30th to December 18th, this sign was December 17th. And so what happened was there's this interview that's taking place between Prince Harry and Barack Obama, and the trailer for this big interview that was going to be coming out was released on December 17th. Okay, so this was a sign. It's a sign of the dragon. But at the same time, we're waiting for a heavenly sign, just as it says in Revelation 12. There appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So what did we have on December 17th? In the heavens. Okay. What we ended up having in Ophiuchus is this sign here that came together, and we were watching this between the moon, the sun, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury, 5 planets all together. And then we have all the stars in the serpent, and then above Ophiuchus is Corona Borealis, which is actually above the head of the snake. Okay. Corona Borealis is the crown on the head of the snake. Okay. So the text tells us, there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. Okay. His tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, did cast them to the earth. Okay. So in the constellation, we have these 5 planets. Okay. And then there's 5 more stars in the tail of the serpent. there's 7 stars here in the head of the serpent, and there's 7 stars in Corona Borealis. And this being the dragon being cast out, the sign of the dragon. Okay? So why am I sharing all of this? What does this have to do with anything? Well, it goes on to say that there's a time count that began from the sign of the dragon. She brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with the rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and to his throne. The woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,203 days. 1,260 days. Okay? So there's a time frame that begins from the sign of the dragon. So I wanted to show you first that December 17th was midweek Hanukkah. Okay? It's the sign of Ophiuchus, which goes together with everything else we're watching. The supernova star is coming out of Ophiuchus. The 2 eclipses from 2020 and 2021 are both solar eclipses in Ophiuchus. Okay? And all these signs are happening on Hanukkah. Okay? And if we go to 2012, okay, to the day of my sign, right? This was the lineup of the day of my sign. On December 12th, 2012, was also in Ophiuchus. The sun was in Ophiuchus with the day of my sign. See, it's together with all of these signs that are happening in this time frame in December. It's the sign of Ophiuchus. Even this information about my sign, I hadn't understood why that date was chosen, why that date was picked, but now all of the signs that we have are connecting to this constellation of Ophiuchus. It's the 13th constellation. And on December 12th, 2012, we had the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Saturn over here, Mars over here. I mean, this lineup that took place, this was the day of my sign, December 12th. Okay, 2012. We have a day count that begins from the sign of the dragon. So where does this put us if we come to August 13th, 2021 from the day of this sign on December 17th, which is the revealing of this interview. Okay, from the day of this sign of 2017, December 17th. Okay, and what do we get if we go to August 13th, 2021? The blessed day, 1,335. Okay. So I'm going to share now at the end of this video the video I did last night that I have not shared yet. What I did on my computer, and I'm going to attach that to this, and I'll let you guys see that from my computer. And now that you've seen all of this information connecting us to the first thing you need to see, make sure you've watched this, okay? These are easy videos to watch, 11 minutes. Very important that everything the Lord gives me is so quick. It's so just concise. I don't have to take an hour or 2 hours or more to break it down. What the Lord has given me is very, very quick. And so this is a reason why there's really no excuse to not be able to look at the information. Okay, so we have Rapture Watch. This was the beginning of the time frame focusing on August 13th and 14th. Then we have this information here, which I'm going to be sharing again with you at the end of this video in a new format. So I've already made these two. I'm making this one, and I'm adding to this information about the Trump national emergency over coronavirus was Friday the 13th. Abraham Accords, when they say peace and safety, this was 1 year ago to the day to what we're watching now. when they say peace and safety. Then we have the interview of Barack Obama together with the sign of the dragon in Ophiuchus. And we have the 1,335 days bringing us to Friday the 13th. Could Friday the 13th be the revealing of the Antichrist? And this is what we are watching. This is what we are looking at. And now we have a supernova that suddenly appeared, exactly coinciding with the birthday party of Barack Obama, when he revealed himself as the serpent, as the lightning from heaven. The supernova appeared, and it changed magnitudes, and it became easily visible to the naked eye, from a 12 magnitude very dim star to a 4.8 magnitude star, which is super bright and just appeared out of nowhere in the constellation of Ophiuchus. Okay, so I will share now with you the information about the supernova that appeared on August 7th and 8th in the constellation of Ophiuchus. Does this point to the 13th constellation and the 13th day of August, Friday the 13th? Or is it a sign just showing us that Jesus is on the way, Satan also is on the way, and it's just imminent? We do not know the day or the hour, but we're watching. And so here we have all of the signs that are being put together. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People, the sign of his coming revealed. Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People, August 11th, 2021. I have shocking information for you guys. This piece of information is amazing. We have talked about this supernova. Actually, I haven't even talked about it very much, but I shared a video. I have not even mentioned this from my page, more than just sharing a video that another channel did. Nemesis Maturity did a video. Rare nova star explosion is visible now to the unaided eye. And if you pull that up, if you've seen that video, you'll know that it's in Ophiuchus, okay, the serpent bearer. And I just shared a video just now, about an hour ago, and I was talking about Friday the 13th and a 7-day warning, actually 6-day warning, from the birthday party and the revelation of Obama as lightning from heaven with that picture that they leaked. So I'm talking about Friday the 13th. And then I went and I was listening to Stuart Best, Night Shadows Radio, and he brought this whole thing up about the supernova. He brought this whole thing up and he said it's in Ophiuchus, the 13th constellation. And it just clicked. It clicked to me. This is, I just was talking about the 13th. Okay, I just did this video about the 13th. I actually put here Rapture Watch for August 12th through 14th, but the focus of it was the 13th. Okay, so we're just talking about Friday the 13th. And I hear this story by Stuart Best. I hear this report by Stuart Best. And he's talking about the supernova that's in the constellation of Ophiuchus. And it's the 13th constellation. And this is such a huge can of worms here, guys. I mean, this is unbelievable, this information, and we haven't even really considered this. But this could be the sign of all signs. And hear me out, okay? All right, so right now we have an epic nova eruption from rare star. It's so bright you can see it with the naked eye. Okay, it's a star. It's normally at a very lower magnitude, and but now it's gone way up to 8. It's usually at around a 12 magnitude, which is dim, very dim, and now it's becoming a very bright 4.8 magnitude star. Okay, so I want to look into the details that this article shows. This is a article by Science Alert. Epic nova eruption from rare star is so bright you can see it with the naked eye. If you look carefully into the night sky, you might see a star that wasn't visible last week. Okay, there's a story here. This is a very important piece of information. This is a very important sign in the heavens. Okay, in the equatorial constellation of Ophiuchus, a star named RS Ophiuchi, about 4,566 light years away, has just had an epic eruption. This nova was so bright that the star is now visible to the naked eye at a magnitude of around 4.8, a whopping 7 magnitudes brighter than its usual 12th magnitude dimness. Okay. Before we go on to read the rest of that, I want to look at the constellation of Ophiuchus. Okay. Ophiuchus, according to Earth Sky, this article came out July 10th, 2021. Is Ophiuchus a constellation or a sign? Pretty interesting title of this article. The Forgotten Constellation. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. Okay. It's considered to be the serpent bearer. Ophiuchus is sometimes called the 13th or forgotten constellation of the zodiac. That's because the sun passes in front of Ophiuchus from about November 30th to December 18th each year. And yet no one ever says they're born when the sun is in Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is a constellation, not a sign of the zodiac. Okay? In other words, it's not even counted as one of the constellations. It's the sun goes through Ophiuchus, but they don't have it scheduled as one of the 12 signs of the zodiac. So it's not even considered to be one of the 12. Okay, it's the 13th. But here's the information. Look at the information, and this is going to bring us to the understanding of the two eclipses that took place last Hanukkah and this upcoming Hanukkah. Okay. Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, is sometimes called the 13th or forgotten constellation of the zodiac. That's because the sun passes in front of Ophiuchus from about November 30th to December 18th each year. Yet no one ever says they were born when the sun is in Ophiuchus. Okay, so we're going to go here to Ophiuchus. I've got the site on the sun. Okay, we're in the constellation of Ophiuchus. I'm going to go to December 14th, 2020. Okay, December 14th, 2020. Okay. And this was last year, December 14th, 2020. Okay. The solar eclipse that took place over South America, Chile, okay, which happened exactly at the midway point, okay, the midway point of the two great American eclipses. This is the midway point of the two great American eclipses from August 21st, 2017 to April 4th, 2024, April 8th, 2024. We've got 2,422 days and the 1,211 days. The exact middle marker here is this eclipse on December 14th, 2020 in the constellation of Ophiuchus. This sign was so powerful that it was the exact day that Joe Biden was confirmed as president through the Electoral College. This was the first day of the beginning of the vaccinations in the United States. We had this in conjunction with the planet Mercury that was right here, which is the messenger planet. And out of this came a comet 2020 X3 SOHO that actually showed up. They did not even know about this comet. Okay, they didn't even not know about this comet until the day of the eclipse, and as they were watching the eclipse, they saw this comet come out of it, which is named 2020 X3 SOHO. Okay, all right, so we've got Ophiuchus on December 14th, 2020. This was midweek Hanukkah, okay? Ophiuchus, midweek Hanukkah, December 14th. Now let's go to this year's, okay? This year's eclipse, which is on December 4th. Remember the dates, okay? Remember the dates of the sun going through Ophiuchus is from November 30th to December 18th. Okay? So this total solar eclipse that's happening this year on December 4th and last year on December 14th, both are within the time frame of the sun going through Ophiuchus. And this year on December 4th, there's another eclipse in Ophiuchus. This one is Mercury is there again. The messenger planet is there again. Okay. Mercury is there again in Ophiuchus with the solar eclipse. And it's the 13th constellation, and we have 2 solar eclipses in Ophiuchus. Okay. All right. I just shared with you that about an hour ago I did this video about Friday the 13th. Then I was watching Night Shadows, Stuart Best, and he was talking about the 13th constellation of Ophiuchus. And I'm like, there's something I'm not seeing here. There's something I didn't see. There's something I did not investigate. Let's go take a look. Let's see what we can find. And we find this information here about the supernova. It's the 13th constellation. Ophiuchus. It's the serpent bearer, okay? The serpent bearer. 13. What does 13 mean in Strong's Concordance? Okay. 13 is the number of rebellion, lawlessness, destruction. 13th constellation. The serpent bearer. Okay. Now, there's one other number here. And if this does not seal the deal, I don't know what will. It's this number right here, guys. 4566. Okay? Epic nova eruption from rare star is so bright you can see it with the naked eye. If you look carefully into the night sky, you might see a star that wasn't visible last week. In the equatorial constellation of Ophiuchus, a star named RS, Ophiuchi, about 4,566 light years away, has just had an epic eruption. This nova was so bright that the star is now visible to the naked eye at a magnitude of around 4.8. A whopping 7 magnitudes brighter than its usually 12th magnitude dimness. 4566. It's in the constellation of Ophiuchus, which is the 13th constellation, which means destruction, lawlessness, rebellion. What do you think the number 4566 means? I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I mean, what do we need to know? What do we need to see? What's got to happen? I mean, this is over. I mean, this is over, guys. I mean, we are seeing the final signs. We are watching the final signs. Satan is on his way. This is going to be happening any minute, any day now. We just had this revelation of the Antichrist as lightning from heaven. And on the day of the party, or on the day after the party, the news came out that this supernova has been spotted out of the 13th constellation, and it's about 4,566 light years away, which is the number of Satan. In the 13th constellation, meaning destruction, lawlessness, and rebellion. So I don't know what to add to this. But I want to thank my brother Stuart over at Night Shadows for bringing this up about the 13th constellation. It really just got me thinking, and this is the way the Lord puts things together. So I don't know what more to add to this. I just want to thank Brother Stuart at Night Shadows Radio for bringing this up in his program today. It's the 13th constellation. It's really got me thinking about what we're watching and what I just shared about Friday the 13th. And the number of lawlessness, rebellion, destruction, the 13th, 6 days from the revealing of the Antichrist on August 7th, 6 days to August 13th. Friday the 13th, everything that symbolizes Friday the 13th and hell on earth and Halloween and just the satanic implication of the Antichrist being revealed on Friday the 13th. And then together with this, and the star is the number of years that represents Satan, all connected to 13, all connected to the last two eclipses, both in the same constellation, guys. I mean, this is huge. This is huge. All right. I mean, even going back to 2020, to the 14th day of December. See? Ophiuchus, Ophiuchus. The star right now is in Ophiuchus. Huge signal here based on what is the serpent bearer and Michael the archangel throwing out the serpent. The great serpent is being thrown out. Look at all of the signs right here showing us what is happening. Okay. This is such a reality. I mean, this is the most powerful, I think, of all the signs with this supernova. I mean, obviously, we've seen so many signs that seemed like the last sign. But one of these signs is going to be the end. Okay? I don't know why this would not be the end with everything we've seen and with everything we're seeing right now, with all of the mandatory vaccinations and the information that we're on the verge of nuclear war. We're on the verge of seeing people taken to internment camps. For those who do not want to take the vaccination, I mean, this is ready to go. Everything is ready to go. And even the signs in the heavens are confirming where we are. Okay? So, I'll leave all the links for you in the description box. And I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.